today's video, let us have a small briefing on project finance. I want to tell you one thing. Prior to independence, there were no institutional arrangements for term finance. But now, with a view to connecting advancements in economic development, Government of India laid emphasis on industrialization through successive plans. And rapid industrial development needed massive investment. So, the massive investment means project finance should be there from the institutionals. The project finance includes two terms. One is project, second one is finance. While project refers to the proposed plan of business activities, and finance relates to proposed arrangement to raise funds for meeting the project cost. So, the project finance means project and finance. Both are two terms. Classify the projects into two types. One is infrastructure projects. Second one is manufacturing projects. Let us see small things about the infrastructure projects and manufacturing projects. One is roads. Second one is railways. Third one is ports. And fourth one is aviation. Then telecommunication. Let us see different type of public and private participation projects. One is BOT, build, own, transfer. Roads and sewage, etc. Assets are owned by government and will take back after certain period. And next one is BOO, build, own, operate, BOO. Mainly power projects. They will not transfer. Here, third one is boost, BOOST. Here, they will build, own, operate, share and transfer. That is port trust. That is ships, wherever ships are halted, all these port trusts. You see here, the revenue sharing will be there. Then, BOLT, BOLT. Here, build, own, lease and transfer, particularly IT product. Here a customer comes to you and approaches you, you want to start a project. Then first you should understand the customer and inquire about his line of activity and product and industry. Then discuss with your customer the project details in detail and cross-check on past credit history of the sector and discuss with your colleagues your doubts. Let us see the components of project finance. One is project formulation, second one is project appraisal or credit appraisal, third one is project implementation and monitoring by borrower as well as banker. Then if any problem comes, again borrower and banker has to discuss and solve their problems. To see the track record of the promoters, that is most important, and other stakeholders in the project also we have to verify. Let us see whether the project is brownfield project or greenfield project. Brownfield project means already existing structure will be there, on that they will modify the project. Whereas greenfield project means from the base level, from the ground level, they will start the project. Let us see the loan appraisal. So, the credit facility is for capital expenditure as well as working capital we have to assess. That is, capital expenditure means for plant and machinery and construction and all these things. Whereas working capital means for their daily requirement. All these assessments should be made on the future assumptions. The different aspects of the appraisal are: one is technical feasibility, second one is financial feasibility, third one is market feasibility, and fourth one is managerial competence, and fifth one is environmental concerns. All these things we have to analyze thoroughly while doing project finance. Let's discuss all these items in brief. The banker also sees the physical structure of the project, land and civil works, plant and machinery, and utilities like power, water and IT system and effluent treatment plant and other infrastructure linkages also we have to verify. Here, in respect of the land, we have to verify the sale deeds, legal opinion we have to take. Then in civil works, design and type. Then plant and machinery, quotations received from the suppliers we have to verify. Here we have to see whether the technology they are going to use is existing one or a new technology. Here financial feasibility is nothing but to determine the accuracy of the cost estimate. This involves analyzing the data received from the borrower to ensure that the project meets the following minimum financial criteria. That is, estimated project cost is reasonable and complete and has a fair chance of materializing as per anticipations. Here, cost of the project includes land, building, plant and machinery and other fixed assets, miscellaneous assets and technical know-how fees, power connection, installation charges, preliminary and pre-operative expenses. That is, before starting the project they will incur some expenditure, that is called as preliminary expenditure, contingencies and marginal working capital requirement. All these things we have to see in respect of the financial feasibility. Here we have to see what is the means of finance. Here how the borrowers are able to meet their margin, that is their equity shares, debentures, unsecured loans, all these things we have to, the deposits, all these things we have to inquire in thoroughly. Let us see the security margin coverage ratio. Security margin coverage ratio is nothing but it is computed to verify that the minimum margin stipulated is maintained. SMCR, this is written down value of fixed assets minus term loan outstanding divided by written down value of the fixed assets. Now we will see the commercial viability. Commercial viability is nothing but to determine the extent of profitability of the project and its sufficiency in relation to the repayment obligation pertaining to the term assistance or term loan what we have given. Here cash flow estimates help determining the dispersal of the term loan. Okay, what is the cash flow, how they are receiving the cash, all these things it will determine the how much term loan they require. Then estimate of profitability, that is one of the important. Next, estimate of profitability and break even point help in drawing up the repayment program and startup time, etc. Then profitability estimate also helps in arriving at estimated DSCR, debt service coverage ratio, the single most important factor in term credit. In the commercial viability, the DSCR is very important tool, and DSCR serves as a guide to determining the period of repayment of loan, particularly a project or term loan. And here how it is calculated. This is gross DSCR, that is cash accruals, that means net profit plus depreciation is called as cash accruals plus interest on term loan divided by maturing annual obligations, that is term loan installments plus interest on term loan. So usually if your profit, if your installment is 1 crore, you should earn at least 1 crore 75 lakhs to meet the interest as well as installments. Here a study of the projected balance sheet is essential, and it is to ensure that the unit will continue to have a sound financial position even after the implementation of the proposed project. And let us see some BEP, that is break even point. In any manufacturing unit, if at a particular level of production the total manufacturing cost equals to the sales revenue, this point of no profit, no loss is known as BEP, break even point. Let us see exercise. Find out break even point. A unit manufactures buses and following is the data. Selling price of each bus is 4 crores and variable cost of each bus is 2 crores and total fixed cost of the unit per annum is 20,000 crores. Total sales per annum is 80,000 crores. So capacity of the unit equal to 25,000 buses per annum. So now let us calculate the BEP. Here let us see the BEP quantity. That means you need at least manufacture 10,000 buses to reach break-even point. That is no loss, no profit. And this BEP sales in rupees, it should earn 40,000 crores. And BEP sales percentage, that means 50%, it has to reach for reaching the break-even point. BEP percentage capacity, that means the unit should utilize at least 40% of the capacity for reaching the break-even point. Let us see the diagrammatic presentation of the break-even analysis. Here at 10,000 units, the BEP point is there. Just to verify. We have to see the margins, then debt equity ratio and sensitivity analysis of the capacity of the project to absorb various shocks. In changes in the critical factors like cost, volume, price. Let us see a small thing. Here in a tea project, what are the factors affecting? One is manures and fertilizers. Second one is weedicides. Third one is pesticides. And fourth one is labor charges. So, if the labor charges increases, there is impact on the profitability of the project. And in the same way, manures and fertilizers also plays a vital role in respect of the tea growth. So, if manures and fertilizers cost is increased, then the profitability also will be affected. Like that, we have to calculate 5% and 10% extra cost and see the profitability. Here we have to also verify the internal cash accruals. What is cash accrual? It is nothing but profit, net profit plus depreciation, which is sufficient to meet the requirement for the additions in the fixed assets during the period of loan. And adequate long-term surplus is available during the currency of the loan to meet margin for working capital. That also we have to verify in commercial viability. Please see the two techniques which take time into consideration for investment decisions. One is compounding, that is future value of present money. Second one is discounting, present value of future money. Just let us see example. Today, if you save 100 rupees at 10% interest rate, after 1 year you will get 110 rupees. And another 1 year, if you extend, you will get 121 rupees. That means your 100 rupees is becoming 121 rupees after 2 years. So this is compounding. That means if a project earns 100 rupees today, it has to earn 121 rupees after 2 years. If you calculate at 10% inflation or interest burden, whatever it may be. So here, if you want to get the profit, it should earn more than that. So we will calculate at 15%, 20%, 25% like that, and we will arrive correct IRR, which means what the project will generate in future. Let us see the discounting factors. How much is rupees 1 crore at a future date worth today? Suppose if you earn 1 crore after 2 years, let us see. Here we have kept years and we have kept various discounting rates. So at 15%, let us say, if you keep 15%, this 1 crore at present rate is only 75 lakhs. Even though if you receive 1 crore after 2 years, the present value of that 1 crore which you are going to earn after 2 years is, at the present value, it is 75 lakhs 6,144. Let us see the IRR calculation. It is lower discount rate, difference between the two discount rates, let us see, and net present value at the lower discount rate and divided by absolute difference between the net present value at the two discount rates. Here, what are the factors we will see in respect of the economic viability? One is thorough market analysis, that is whether there is a demand for this product or not, whether these people are able to sell the product or not. Then future trends and volumes and patterns of supply and demand also we have to verify. To verify the risk during the construction work, that also we have to verify. Engineering risks and completion risk and infrastructure risk, all these things we have to verify while taking the project. Certain times the capital cost also will increase. This is because of the engineering risk and also completion risk and also funding cost risk, that is interest rates changing and foreign exchange risk. All these will increase the capital cost. That also we have to assess properly. We have to see the market risk also, whether there is a demand for the product is available. Then generic risk, that is legal, political, regulatory and force majeure, environmental. All these are also we have to verify. In other parameters, we have to verify the environmental regulations, whether to ascertain whether the project is full compliance with the various environmental provisions in force. Examination of the government policies, examination of other statutory obligation, all these things we have to verify. Let us have a deferred payment guarantees. You see, a DPG is a contract to pay to the supplier the price of machinery supplied by him on deferred terms in agreed installment with stipulated interest on the respective due dates. This is a type of term loan given by the supplier of the machinery to the buyer. Let us see the recap. See in a project appraisal: prima facie acceptability, technical feasibility, economic viability, financial feasibility, commercial viability, managerial competence and others. Okay. So prima facie acceptability means government regulations, policy guidelines, exposure norms, credit history, debt equity ratio, etc. Technical feasibility means suitability, adequacy, design, accessibility, technical collaboration, production process, factors of production, cost of production. Economic viability means market analysis, demand supply gap, future trend, conducive parameters, type of product, export potential. Financial feasibility means accuracy, reasonableness, scrutiny and comparison, future cash flows, financial closure. Then commercial viability means implementation period, drawdown schedule, moratorium, projected profitability, cash flows and fund flows, payback period, break-even point, DSCR, debt service coverage ratio, security margin, sensitivity analysis, internal rate of return. Then managerial competency, integrity, track record, initiative, experience, competence, efficiency. Then others, environmental issues, statutory obligations, government policies, terms and conditions of interest rate and reset option, approval for deviation, primary security, collateral security. The project is fixed tenor loan. And what are the risks? Implementation risk, market risk, industry risk, credit risk, estimation risk. In nutshell, I want to give these are the parameters we have to see in respect of project finance.